Hola a todos, hoy vamos a hablar de un grupo de verbos especial y esos verbos tienen lo que se llama un cambio de raíz. Okay? In English we call these stem changing verbs, but they have a cambio de raíz. So when we look at a verb, okay, for example, the verb dormir, which means to sleep, we have our verb ending, the IR, which we've been focusing a lot on in these last few videos. And this IR is my verb ending, okay? So maybe you've figured out what the rest of this is, but that means this dorm part, this is my raíz, or my stem, my root. This is the root of my verb. Okay, because this ending can change, but this one usually stays the same, okay, no matter what happens to the ending. Now, in certain tenses, however, this raíz does experience, that's a new thing. This raíz does experience a change, a cambio. All right, so today we are going to be talking about those verbs with a cambio de raíz. Today we are going to focus on verbs that change from an O, like we have right here, to a UE. Okay, so there are certain verbs where in the root they have an O that, depending on who my subject is going to change to a UE. Now, you already know most of these verbs if you've been reading, if you've been doing pretty much anything in Spanish. You've probably used these and not even known that they're part of this category. The reason that we put them in this category is to just kind of help explain that this is a change that happens in the present, but not necessarily in my other tenses. All right, so let's look at these verbs with a cambio de raíz. So as I mentioned, today we're going to focus on those verbs that have an O in the original verb, in the main root, and then that O then is going to change to a UE depending on my subject. Okay? So let's review. We have our chart here, which I've been using in the other videos. So we've got yo, we have a subject to, we have usted, él, and ella down here. Up here we have nosotros or nosotras. And then down here we have ustedes and ellos and ellas. Okay? Now, remember here, many people put vosotros, but we're not going to talk about vosotros. If you go to Spain, then you'll need to know it. But anywhere in Central America or South America, you do not. So, when I have a verb, such as the verb poder, if I look up how to say can or to be able to in a dictionary, then I'm going to see poder. And next to poder, often, not always, but often, they're going to have parentheses. And in those parentheses, there will be a UE. The whole purpose of that is to let me know that this verb poder has this stem change. Now, only O's can change to UEs. So that tells me that this O right here is going to change to a UE, depending on my subject. So which subjects are going to change to UE? Well, these four. Pretty much every subject, with the exception of nosotros, right? Nosotros is going to keep the O. But all the others are going to change it. Okay, so what does this look like? Well, if I'm speaking, it's not yo puedo, it would be yo puedo. Okay, I still change the O because my subject is yo, right? So yo puedo. Tú puedes. Tú puedes aprender español. Es posible. Tú puedes. Okay. Él, ella, o usted is going to be puede. Puede. This is a common chant. Sí se puede, which means yes, we can, or you can, or yes, it can be done. Yes, it's possible. Sí se puede. Coming over here to ustedes, it means that we're going to say pueden. Ellos pueden llegar a clase a tiempo. You can come to class on time. You know who I'm talking to. And then nosotros is going to be podemos. It's going to keep the O. It's not podemos, it's podemos. Okay? It keeps the O. It is the only one that is true to its roots. Nosotros podemos. Now, vosotros, if you are studying vosotros también down here, okay, it would also keep its root. It falls in with nosotros, right? All right, so any verb that has this change is going to change where the green is, right? Okay, all of these have this change, but only in the present tense. Remember, we're just talking about the present tense, okay? So how are you going to learn this? Well, oftentimes it just starts to come naturally. If you have been reading, if you have been in class for a while, you know that yo puedo doesn't sound right. You know it's yo puedo. Where most students have the problem is up here with nosotros, okay? Remembering that in nosotros, I go back to the O, podemos, okay? So what are some verbs that change like poder? We have a lot of similar verbs. For example, the verb contar. Contar means to tell, like to tell a story. If my subject is yo, it is going to be yo cuento. Yo cuento. Ooh, I meant to do that end in a black. Yo cuento muchas historias a mi clase. I tell a lot of stories to my class. Yo cuento muchas historias. But remember then, if I come to nosotros, I'm going to keep my O, right? It's not going to change. Nosotros contamos. Okay? Contamos. Contar, to tell, like to tell a story. Nosotros contamos. Another similar one that is often used is dormir. Dormir, which means to sleep. Okay? El bebé, not dorme, but el bebé duerme. El bebé duerme. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? El bebé duerme. However, remember, if my subject is nosotros, I'm not going to have the change. Nosotros no dormimos. Nosotros no dormimos bien. Okay? Dormimos. Not duermimos, dormimos. Another common one is encontrar. Encontrar, which means to find. Ellos no encuentran la respuesta. No encuentran la respuesta. They can't find the answer. No encuentran la respuesta. Nosotras encontramos, no change, right? Encontramos la respuesta hace mucho. We found the answer a long time ago. Nosotras encontramos la respuesta hace mucho. Other similar verbs are morir. We have Dia de los Muertos coming up, right? Morir. This O is going to change. Me muero de hambre. I'm dying of hunger. Me muero de hambre. But nosotros morimos. Todos morimos. We will all die. Todos morimos. I know. So positive thinking. Next we have mostrar. Mostrar, which is to show. Mostrar. Okay, if I'm telling you, muéstrame, show me, muéstrame la respuesta, show me. Nosotros mostramos las respuestas. We show the answers. Recordar, which is to remember. Recordar, as in Coco. Recuérdame. Okay, so recuerda. Ella recuerda los cuentos de su abuelo. She remembers the stories of her grandfather. Recuerda. And then nosotros would be recordamos. Recordamos. El Día de los Muertos recordamos nuestros ancestros. Another favorite of mine that has this change is soñar. Soñar, which means to dream. Okay? Interesting enough with soñar, in English we say to dream about. In Spanish you say to dream with. Soñar con. Okay? Entonces, por ejemplo, sueño con Antonio Banderas. Shh, secreto. Nosotros isn't going to have this change, right? Soñamos. Soñamos. Nosotros soñamos con ganar una A en el examen. Soñamos. It shouldn't just be a dream. Sí se puede. You can do it. All right, and then another common one is volver. Volver, which would be vuelve. Mi mamá vuelve mañana. My mom returns tomorrow. Vuelve. But then nosotros volvemos. Nosotros volvemos. Okay, volvemos. We will return. Volvemos. Or we'll be right back. Volvemos pronto. So, of course, there are more than just these. Remember that any verb that includes this verb is going to also have to change. Like devolver is going to change just like volver. Revolver, to revolve. Resolver, which is very similar, just has the S. They're all going to have the same change, okay? Now, if you are confused, if you are online and you're on a website like SpanishDictionary.com, usually underneath the verb, they have verb charts there to kind of help you out. But just so that you're aware, there are these changes. There are 2 more changes, and we will be talking about those in the 2 subsequent videos. We have E to IE changes, E to IE, and then we also have E to I changes. But we are going to be talking about those in the next videos. So remember, some verbs, not all, but some verbs have an O that is going to change to a UE, but only if my subject, or in every subject except nosotros. Nosotros is the exception. Okay? Dime si tienen preguntas.